Our objectives in this lesson are the following. Define a system of linear equations in two variables. Identify the three types of systems of linear equations in two variables. And represent real-life situation using systems of linear equations in two variables. But first, here is the answer in the extra problem I gave in our previous lesson. Kindly write if you get it correct in the comment section below. Now, let's solve a mystery. Snack combo mystery. You're at the canteen, you buy one sandwich and two juices for 85 pesos. Your friend buys two sandwiches and one juice for 95 pesos. Can you figure out the price of one sandwich and one juice? Here's the hint. Choose from these two choices. The sandwich costs 25 pesos while the juice is 35 pesos, or the sandwich costs 35 pesos and the juice is 25 pesos. Let's see. Allow me to use S for the number of sandwich and J for the number of juice. We have here one sandwich and two juices for 85 pesos. In equation, that would be 1S or simply S plus 2J equals 85. I will use first the 25 pesos for the sandwich and 35 pesos for the juice. So I will substitute 25 for S and 35 for J. Are they equal? 2 times 35 is 70. Are they equal? 25 plus 70 is 95. Are they equal? No, they are not. So meaning, the sandwich is not 25 pesos and the juice is not 35 pesos. So let me try this time. The sandwich is 35 pesos while the juice is 25 pesos. I'll copy again our equation and substitute 35 for S and 25 for J. Are they equal? 2 times 25 is 50. Are they equal? 35 plus 50 is 85. Are they equal? Yes, they are. So, meaning our sandwich costs 35 pesos and the juice costs 25 pesos. Now, how about the second equation for your friend? Your friend buys two sandwiches and one juice for 95 pesos. So, the equation for this one would be 2S plus 1J or simply J equals 95. Let us substitute again 35 for S and 25 for J. Are they equal? 2 times 35 is 70. Are they equal? 70 plus 25 is 95. Are they equal? Yes, they are. So it means the sandwich indeed cost 35 pesos. Let me write it here. Sandwich equals 35 pesos, while the juice cost 25 pesos. 35 for the sandwich and 25 for the juice both satisfies our two equations. Let us analyze. Earlier, we are given two equations. The first one, S plus 2J equals 85. And the second one is 2S plus J equals 95. A pair of linear equations such as this is called system of linear equations in two variables. Now, let us examine further. How do we consider pair of equations as system of linear equations in two variables? First, there is more than one linear equation. In here, we are given two linear equations. Could it be more? Yes, but in this lesson, we are going to deal with only two linear equations. Next one, each equation contains two variables. We have here S and J. We also have here S and J. And the third one is the equations must have the same variables. The first equation uses S and J for variables. Same thing with the second equation. We have S and J as variables. Next, the exponent of each variable is 1. The exponent of S and J are both 1. In the second equation, both S and J are raised to the first power. Next one, each term contains only one variable. This is one term and it contains only one variable. Same thing with here, one variable, one variable. Meaning we cannot multiply the variables in one term. We cannot have Sj. There should only be one variable in each term. And finally, the equations can be written in the form ax plus by equals c. In this case, we simply use S and J. No worries, these are just placeholders. Let us continue. My graph says it all. Draw the graphs of each pair of equations and describe. So I have here 3 pairs of equations and I'm going to use GeoGebra in graphing. Here is my GeoGebra. I have already encoded the equations. So we just have to tick them to see the graph. So for the first pair, 4x plus 2y equals 12. Let's take this one. And here is the graph. The second equation for the first pair is 2x plus y equals 6. Here it is. And here is the graph. Okay, let me untick that again. First equation, and this one is the second equation. What did you notice? The graphs coincide with one another. So that is the graph of the first pair. Let us untick them. Let's have the second pair, 3x minus y is equal to 6, this one. And here is the graph. While the second equation for the second pair is 6x minus 2y is equal to 10. Here it is. Let us take this one. And what did we form? We form parallel lines. So this is the graph of the second pair. Let us untick them. For the third pair, x plus y is equal to 6. This one. Let us take this one. And the second equation, 2x minus y is equal to 3. This one. What do we form? We form intersecting lines. So this is the graph of the third pair. Now let us continue analyzing these graphs. Okay, so we are done graphing the 3 pairs. Now let us talk about what we're actually solving when we work with systems of linear equations. What is our main goal? We're trying to find out how many solutions the system has. Now, how do we figure that out? Simple. We look at the graph because the graph says it all. Let's go over the 3 examples to make this clear. The first pair of equation, here is the line that we formed, and we formed coinciding lines. They sit exactly on top of each other. What does this tell us? That there are infinitely many solutions for this type of system. The second pair, let us recall the graph. We formed parallel lines. And I bet you know that parallel lines never meet. So meaning, no intersection, no solution. How about the third pair? Let us recall the graph. In here, we formed intersecting lines. These lines intersect at one point. And this point is the solution that makes the equations true. So this system has exactly one solution. Cool, right? We just have to graph them and we already know the number of solutions. Let's have another activity. Convert and complete. Convert each pair of equations into slope-intercept form. That is y equals mx plus b. And identify the slope, m, and the y-intercept, b. We already discussed in our previous lesson how to convert equations into slope-intercept form. You may check on our previous lesson to recall on this topic. So let us convert this one. So let us move 4x on this side and then divide everything by 2. So this will be equal to y equals negative 2x plus 6. While this one, we have y equals negative 2x plus 6. What did you notice? It's exactly the same equation. That must be the reason why the graph of this pair is like this, forming the same exact line. Notice that our slope m, which is the coefficient of x, are the same. and that is negative 2. The y-intercept denoted by b are also the same, which is 6. So this means if the slopes and y-intercepts of two equations are the same, we form coinciding lines. Let's have number 2. Let us move y here to make it positive and then 6 on this side. So this will be y is equal to 3x minus 6. This one, let us move y on this side, 10 on this side, and divide everything by 2. So this will be y is equal to 3x minus 5. So what do we observe here? We observe that our slopes are the same, which is 3, but the y-intercepts are different. For the first one, we have negative 6. For the second one, we have negative 5. Let us recall the graph of the second pair, and we form parallel lines. When does this happen? If the two lines have the same slopes but different y-intercepts. For the third pair, so this will be y equals negative x plus 6, while this one is y equals 2x minus 3. So what do we observe here? We have different slopes. The first one is negative 1. The y-intercept is 6. The second one, the slope is 2, and the y-intercept is negative 3. Let us recall the graph of this pair, and we have intersecting lines. Intersecting lines happen when you have different slopes. As to the y-intercept, it could be the same or not. Let us dig deeper by discussing each pair of equations thoroughly. For the first one, we found out that we are actually dealing with the same line. So let us try to substitute ordered pairs that will satisfy both equations. Since we are dealing with the same equation, let me try first the y-intercept. To do that, I will set x be equal to 0, so y is equal to 6. So the y-intercept is 0, 6. I will substitute this to the first equation, 0 for x and 6 for y. 4 times 0 will simply cancel out, and 2 times 6 is equal to 12. Are they equal? Yes, they are. Now, I will substitute again this ordered pair to the second equation. Again, 0 for x and 6 for y. 2 times 0 will simply cancel out. Is 6 equals 6? Yes, it is. Meaning, 0, 6 satisfies both of the equations here. Now, let me try x-intercept. To solve for the x-intercept, I'm going to set y be equal to 0. Move 2x on this side, so 2x is equal to 6, and divide both sides by 2. So x is equal to 3. The x-intercept would be 3, 0. Let me substitute this to the first equation. 3 for x and 0 for y. 2 times 0 will simply cancel out. 4 times 3 is equal to 12. They are equal. This time, I'll substitute this with the second equation. Again, 3 for x, 0 for y. 2 times 3 is equal to 6. Are they equal? Yes, they are. So it means 3, 0 satisfies both of the equations. Now, let us try another point aside from the intercepts. Let's say 2, 2. Let me substitute 2, 2 to the first equation. 2 for x and 2 for y. 4 times 2 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. And 8 plus 4 is equal to 12. They are equal. Substituting 2, 2 to the second equation. Again, x is 2 and y is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. And 4 plus 2 is equal to 6. Yes, they are equal. So what does this tells us? It tells us that any point satisfies both of the equations. Meaning we could have infinitely many points and still will satisfy the pair of linear equations. Let us dig deeper to the second pair of equations. Since both of these equations is equivalent to y, I am just going to equate this part. 3x minus 6 is equal to 3x minus 5. 3x on both sides, same signs, will simply cancel out. I have here negative 6, while on this one is negative 5. Are they equal? No, they are not. This means no point will satisfy both of the equations given. Let us recall the graph of this line. Oh yes, they form parallel lines, meaning there is no point in this line that will satisfy the equation of the second line because they did not intersect. Let us move on to the third pair of equations. Again, since both of these equations are equal to y, let me equate these two. So let us move negative x on this side, while negative 3 on this side. It will become 6 plus 3 is equal to 2x plus x. 6 plus 3 is equal to 9. 2x plus x is equal to 3x. To solve for x, let us divide both sides by 3. So 3 here will cancel out. 9 divided by 3 is equal to 3. So x is equal to 3. Since we already know the value of x, let us substitute this to any of the equations here. Let me use the first one. Substituting 3 for x here, negative 3 plus 6 is equal to positive 3. So our y is equal to 3. Therefore, our point is 3, 3. So this point satisfies both of the equations. Let us check that in our graph. What is this point? This is 3, 3. So lo and behold, this point is actually the intersection of these two lines. So this is the solution of this pair of equations. Let's have another activity. I therefore conclude. So we have here the graphs, we have here the slope-intercept form, the slopes, and the y-intercepts. Now we are asked to look for the number of solutions. In pair number 1, since we have coinciding lines, each point on the first equation coincides with the point of the second equation, meaning we have infinitely many solutions. And this type of system is called consistent independent. For the second pair, we form parallel lines. Therefore, there is no point of intersection, so it means there is no solution. This type of system is called inconsistent. And for the third pair, we have intersecting lines. The lines intersect at exactly one point, so we only have one solution. This type of system is called consistent and independent. Let's have another activity. Plantitas. Len is buying 1,800 worth of indoor plants. A pot of calathea cost 300 pesos and a pot of photos cost 150 pesos. At the same time, Vivian is also buying calatheas and potos, but from different vendor. She spends 1,600 pesos, where each pot of calathea costs 200 pesos and each pot of pothos costs 100 pesos. Write the two equations that represent the scenario presented. Let's start with Len. It says here the total cost is 1,800 pesos. Calathea costs 300 pesos. Let me use C for calathea and P for potos that cost each pot 150 pesos. So the equation would be 300C plus 150P is equal to 1,800. While for Vivian, each pot of calathea costs 200 pesos, so that would be 200C, and each pot of photos costs 100 pesos, so that would be 100P. So 200C plus 100P is equal to 1,600. We have here two linear equations, and both equations use the same variables, and each variable is raised to the first power. This is called system of linear equations in two variables. Try this. Look at the graph and identify what type of system of linear equation it shows. We have here intersecting lines, so the type of system is consistent and independent. We have here two lines that coincide with one another, so this type of system is consistent and dependent. We have here a pair of parallel lines, and this type of system is inconsistent. Let's do extra challenge. Translate the following into system of linear equations into variables. Number 1. Kim bought 4 apples and 3 oranges for 330 pesos, while Pao bought 2 apples and 3 oranges for 270 pesos. Let me use A for apples and O for oranges. So the first equation for Kim would be 4A plus 3O is equal to 330. While for Pao, that would be 2A plus 3O equals 270. Let's have the second one. A vendor sold 4 t-shirts and 2 cups for 1,400 pesos in the morning. In the afternoon, he sold 3 t-shirts and 3 cups for 1,350. Let me use T for t-shirts and C for cups. For the first equation, that would be 4T plus 2C equals 1,400. And the second equation would be 3T plus 3C equals 1,350. For the summary, here are the things that we learned in this lesson. Take time to understand this. Now, it is time to check your understanding. Pause this video for more time. Let us answer. Let us complete the table. For the first one, we are asked to determine the slope-intercept form. For the first equation, let us move x on this side. This will become y equals negative x plus 5. For the second equation, let us move y on this side and 4 on this side. This will be equal to y equals 2x minus 4. Since we have different slopes and different y-intercepts, then we know that there is exactly one solution for this. And that is correct because the type of system is consistent and independent. For the second one, we are asked to determine the slope, and they are the same, which is equal to negative 1/2. Since we have the same slopes and same y-intercepts, we have infinitely many solutions. And this type of system is consistent and dependent. For the last pair, the number of solutions, since we have the same slopes but different y-intercepts, then it means we have no solution. This type of equations form parallel lines, and the type of system is inconsistent. Gets? Here is an extra problem for you to master this lesson. Watch out for my next video lesson where I reveal the answer. Our next lesson is graphing systems of linear equations into variables.